back to another Insanely Perfect. This is going to be Blast to the Past. I literally went through this voiceover once already and I had my microphone muted, so that's always fun. I don't really think I struggled too badly on this one. I think I was missing a box for the longest time. Like I made it to the end like 2 or 3 times and I was missing a box and I was really confused, and it's literally that one right there behind that pink flower. So yeah, just make sure you don't miss that. Here I wait for that tentacle to pop out and then I spack the box, and it gives you just the right amount of time to get all the time boxes. Make sure you jump on this dinosaur because there's 2 boxes up there. And get these, and then this rail section. This rail section gave me a little bit of trouble at first, but there's not that many boxes on it. I just, for some reason, after I would drop down here, I would always want to pop back up, and obviously you don't want to do that yet, so yeah. And I really hate the swing boxes. They're just, the timing on them's weird. So, but once we go around this, there's just a couple more boxes and a gold fruit. So we grab all that. And this part's pretty simple. You can pretty much just run through this easy. Just watch the lava. But you can double jump over the lava, so it's not that bad either. Flashback tapes and easy pickup. It's not missable. Which, not that they are ever missable, but pretty easy pickup. And you just automatically get them insanely perfect because you have to get to them without dying, so as long as you get to it without dying, because you're trying to, you'll end up picking it up. The bonus rounds in this level and in the well, all the bonus rounds in this world are a little tough, to be honest. So you skip that first box and you want to break these next 5. Don't jump yet. You gotta wait for that to spawn. Then you're gonna skip the top high box, get the middle 2, and skip that box. Then you're gonna jump back across. You're gonna get all this. Make sure you don't belly flop and die. Not that it would matter, but it's just annoying to have to do it again. Now this is where it gets tricky. You have to jump without hitting that box. Jump high to get to that box to get back over there. Now you gotta do this quick, and you just gotta get your way back across. That's the only way I know to do it. I had to look up how to do it because I couldn't figure it out on my own. There may be another method, but that method works, so might as well do it that way if you're struggling. Now, as long as you've done all of this, as long as you didn't die in the bonus round, you will have 2 masks here. So that makes that kind of nice because you can... I don't know why I did it this way. Because, like, after doing the voiceover once already and having to redo it because my microphone was muted, I realized that I could have, like after I destroyed these nitros here in this locked box, I realized that I could have just picked up the 3rd mask here and got invincibility, and it would have just automatically broke these boxes, but for some reason I wanted to break them first. I don't really know why. It was just in my brain that was the smart thing to do, so I could just pick up the mask and run. But in reality, I could have picked up the mask and it would have broke them anyway. So, because the mask breaks locked boxes, it doesn't matter. So, either way, we got it. We're good. I can just basically run through everything here because I have invincibility. So there's no fear. See, I break the lockbox. So. I waited for it to run out there because I knew it was about to end, so I just didn't want to take any chances. This is the final part, and the hidden gem is up here. You have to do some quick jumps to get it. So once you get around this corner, you're going to jump across to get this box. You're going to immediately jump back over to get the gem. You're immediately going to jump back over to get that box. You're immediately going to jump back over. So it's a bunch of swaps, but it's pretty easy. You just jump almost immediately. Once you hit the box, once you hit the gem, once you hit the box, just back and forth. Make your way through here, jump, get the last gold fruit, and that's the final box right there, other than the nitro explosions. And there is your Insanely Perfect for Blast to the Past. Anyway, sorry. So now we are going to do the Insanely Perfect for Fossil Fueled, which is Cortex's level. And I've actually come to like Cortex, to be honest. He's actually, I used to not like him, but I actually kind of enjoy playing his levels. His little gun's cool. Yeah, so there's a hidden box right there, make sure you grab that. I was missing a box on this one too when I got to the end of it one time, but I think I just missed a box. It might have been that I just, on one of my like retries, I just forgot to hit that box behind that log, or like, I don't know. It was just weird. I was missing a box at the end, so I'm not sure. Now that's just showing you, this is the first time you ever play as Cortex, so this little part is just showing how to use dash move. The pit is totally safe, so once you jump across, just make sure you jump back down in it to go get the hidden gem. And then just continue on. I just like to blow up the nitro with Cortex because you can, and it just, you know, saves you the chance of getting hit by it. Now these little spitter enemies I really dislike, especially this one, because sometimes he'll explode the nitro, sometimes he doesn't. Excuse me. But so yeah, so just be careful of him. And I like to blow up these nitro just so he can't do that to me, and then more nitro to blow up. I was just checking to see if there was any boxes up there because I had missed a box, like I said, so I was just kind of covering all my bases, checking everything. But I don't think I actually missed a box. I think it was just, well, I did, but I mean, like, I don't think there was a hidden box anywhere because I didn't pick up any new boxes whenever I completed this run, so I must have just forgot that box behind the log, or I just happened to overlook a box and not get it. So this is probably the trickiest part of the level, to be honest. There's a lot of pretty weird platforming here. Like, you have to jump back to get this box, and then jump back across. Now there's that box down low. You have to get that and dodge over, which isn't too difficult, but I've definitely messed it up, so it's also easy to mess up. But yeah, there's just a lot of weird boxes here that you have to do some strange things to get them, so just keep that in mind. It's probably the hardest part of the level. If you make it through here, your chances are you'll complete the level. Now this part, I realized I could have shot that box and then dashed across, but for some reason it felt safer for me to just drop to that platform. But obviously, if you want to save some time, you can try to do it. Try to shoot the box and dash. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't work. It should work. And I could have done it, but I just didn't. Now this part's pretty scary because that spitter has killed me quite a few times. He tends to spit right as you bounce up there, so just don't bounce too far over, basically, and you should be fine. Now there's a box down here. Like, that may have been the box I missed. Like, I knew it was there, and I may have just not gotten it. I don't know. Like, I may have just, in the moment, just jumped across and skipped it one time. So, but, like, it wasn't a matter of me missing a box, because I just didn't know it was there. I just may have, in the moment, forgotten about it, so. But that's pretty normal with this, especially if you're attempting a level over and over and over. You're kind of sprinting through it because you know the level so well that you just try to move as fast as you can. And I mean, not that I really tried that long on this level, but still, this level wasn't super hard, so I was just trying to go through it as quickly as possible so that I can get it done.
On second thought, no volcano lair. I can feel my nostril hairs sizzling.
I was struggling with this guy, clearly. I was still checking for boxes, just because I wanted to make sure. I swear, like, I don't cough the whole time until I start doing this, and it's just because I think I'm talking a lot. So it's like making me have to cough. Again, I was just still checking for boxes. There's none here though, so don't worry. Now these three, just shoot them. Obviously, it's pretty easy. This part is, I wouldn't say it's any harder than the previous part, but it definitely has its challenges. Just another platforming part.
Haven't seen mushrooms that big since I left the Gigantizotron running overnight.
I honestly kind of prefer the 2D, like, side-scrolling platform. What am I saying? I prefer the side-scrolling platforming over, like, the more 3D style platforming, just because it's pretty simple to tell where to jump to. You can tell your depth and everything pretty easily because it's really a one-dimensional based movement. I mean, you do have some foreground background movement, but it's you can't actually fall off into the foreground or the background, so it makes it a little bit nicer. This is pretty much the end. Once you get up here and drop down, there's a couple boxes you have to break in a line. And then you dash across, and that's it. These are the last couple boxes, and then the last two are sitting up there beside the box count. And hitting the nitro crate would have, or the explosion, I would have done it, but I just shot it anyway. And there it is. So fossil fueled N.Sanely perfect is done. And the next one we move on to is going to be Dino Dash. And then we do the timeline equivalent level to it after this. So this level, honestly, the actual first portion of the part of the level is probably the hardest part. The dinosaur part didn't really give me that much trouble in this one. The timeline level is a different story. But I definitely had to retry this part a lot until I had kind of gotten this whole section down. I almost fell there, as you can see. I managed to save myself. Yeah, honestly, these 4 levels on this island weren't that bad. This part was a little confusing for me. Lolly Lolly just always like hurts my brain. Especially for things like this, because you have to like, you basically have to memorize when you need to phase and when you don't need to phase. So it just kind of gets a little tricky. Especially these, because like you have to do it perfect. If you don't do it perfect, you're gonna have to restart, because you're gonna miss a block or a box. So you'll have to go back and redo the entire level just because you messed up the rail grind part, which is literally the story of my life. I hate the rail grinds in this game. Always mess them up. Now, with these dinosaur chases, you don't even need to really spin the boxes. I mean, you want to spin it if you can, so you get the fruit. But the dinosaur will break every single box in these, so you don't have to worry about getting it. This, you need to make sure you get on top of the second area box, because there is a box up above. And it is possible to break the area box from below if you bounce into it. So it is placed slightly higher so that you can easily get up around it. but you still need to be careful. Because that has ended my run quite a few times because I hit it from below and broke it. This part's pretty straightforward. We have the bonus round coming up, which isn't too difficult, but it is a trickier bonus round. It's a very puzzling one for sure. They're starting to get more puzzly, which I understand why they made them harder in this game, because I mean, you can play it the classic way where you have like 3 lives default, and you can obviously get more by just I would assume you get a new life every 99 Wampa fruits, I would assume, but I don't know. I've never played it in the default way. I've just always played it in the new style where you have infinite lives. But the bonus rounds in the old Crash games were really designed for gaining lives. Okay, here's the tricky part. You need to do a high bounce double jump spin so that you can get over that. But anyway, I mean, you're watching me do it, so you can just obviously do it how I did it if you're struggling with this. But in the old Crash games, the bonus rounds were really designed for you to gain extra lives. Like, that was the whole point of them. And in this game, you don't really need to collect lives. There's no trophy for having lives. Like, none of that like there were in the old games. So I understand why they made the bonus rounds harder in this game. It makes sense. So they're just kind of like an extra challenge, essentially. But dying in them does not affect N.Sanely Perfect. It doesn't affect the death count. It doesn't affect anything like that. So even if you get one that's particularly difficult, you just have to keep trying it until that's really all it comes down to. Now again, with this dinosaur chase, he'll break all the boxes. You don't need to worry about breaking them, but try to break as many as you can so that you can still at least get the 80% fruit gem, which I just got it right there. So technically the very last dinosaur chase, I wouldn't even need to break any box and I would be fine. So this is the tricky part. So you have to land on these platforms and slide under them. The platforms do disappear, so you can't stand on them for very long. And this one's probably the trickiest one. But you should be fine. And once you get here, you can just bounce all the way across after you hit the TNT. Excuse me. Now I'm talking too much. It's making me cough. So this is the final dinosaur chase. Probably the trickiest chase out of all of them, because it has a bunch of these moving platform sections. Do not do any double jumps. You don't need to. I mean, those parts sometimes you have to, but across these moving platforms, you do not need to do any double jumps. It takes up time, and on the last section, the dinosaur will catch you, because he makes this huge leap, and he'll get you right at the very end if you do double jumps. So you just have to do single jumps all the way across. That is the N.Sanely Perfect for Dino Dash. Wasn't too bad. I changed my skin actually in this next bit. Just for fun, because why not, you know? So this next one is rock blocked, and this is the Dingodile timeline level. I don't know why in the previous episode I could not remember the timeline thing. I couldn't remember what it was called.
All right.
Yeah, this is a timeline level.
One of them shimmery things around here.
So, or maybe that was in the voice recording I did that I had it muted the whole time. I don't know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just ignore me. But, so this part, honestly, this Dingodile part is a lot longer than it needed to be, in my opinion. Most of the timeline levels are not this long in the beginning. Like, this Dingodile part is ridiculously long. It's not necessarily hard, it's just long. So, there are some missable boxes though. So, like this one right here, you gotta use these TNT blocks to get it. There's another platform over here where there's another box out there. And sometimes you shoot the TNT at it and it doesn't explode. I think it does it in this one. No, it didn't. But there is some times where you'll shoot the TNT at that box and it hits the box but it doesn't blow it up. Now here I shoot 2 boxes off and I hit one of them. I think I missed this one. Yeah. But you see that box right there. There's 2 boxes. There's one on each side of that stump. But if you can't hit them with the TNT, you can just get it just like I did right there. And Dingodile can actually clear that entire gap without the stump too from platform to platform. Watch out for those 2 spitters because they've killed me more often than I'd like to admit. Oh, don't forget those boxes there. Pick up the TNT again. Get back on the dinosaur heads and shoot the barrier. Make sure you don't shoot while those swamp bubbles are up because they will block your shot. It won't hurt you, but it'll block your shot. I'll have to go back and get another barrel. I always just kill that beetle just for good measure. Now this part can be tricky with the swamp bubbles, but as long as you go right here, you shouldn't get hit. I probably could have made that jump, but I just kind of stopped for a minute. Even if you do get hit though, you'll lose the mask, and that's really about it. The rest of this level isn't super difficult. You shouldn't really take any damage anywhere. I mean, there are a couple more sections with swamp bubbles, and there's this spitter, and there's another spitter. But other than that, there's just beetles, and it's just clearing a bunch of gaps. And maybe an occasional nitro you have to jump over. But with Dingodile's little float thing with his vacuum, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty hard to die to anything on this part. Like that, you can just clear that beetle. I always go up and get the TNT, shoot that thing, then break the boxes. You can do it the other way if you wanted to, it doesn't matter. This spitter is dangerous, be careful, don't let him shoot you. And then we're gonna jump up here. Don't go too early, make sure you have space to clear the nitro, don't die from the beetle. Shoot that TNT off, jump back across the nitro. Now we're gonna get up here, and you see that nitro down below. There are 2 hidden boxes right down here. Just grab those and just drop off right by the green waterfall. They'll land right on that platform. So you're gonna go back up to where you just were, and continue across the gap. Break these last couple boxes. Don't forget to bounce the TNT. Break these boxes. Don't worry here, you do have enough to get up on this platform after you break that. Go across, bounce up, break the box, go across, bounce the TNTs, and bounce up there. And that's it for Dingodile's part.
Time to go home.
Now, this part with Crash, there's obviously more boxes. I would say it's definitely a little harder, but if you did it on Dino Dash, you shouldn't have any trouble here. This part's just a lot of big bounces, double jumps. It's pretty simple. This, you just need to do a crouch or a slide jump to get up, and then just big bounce, double jumps. Just watch out for swamp bubbles. And now this bonus level is definitely trickier, for sure. It's same layout as the other one, obviously, but it's just set up differently. So you're going to jump across here. You're going to do a slide jump and get up on top of these boxes to hit that exclamation point box. Then there's a tiny little ledge you can land on right there to get back inside. Then this part's very important. You're going to slide jump, big bounce off the box, big bounce off the fruit box, spin. You do not want to bounce up on that arrow. And then I just let these explode because I don't really know how you get those, to be honest. Now you have to do a slide double jump to get up here and belly flop these. Do not drop off of there because you cannot get back up from the other side. So you're going to do that, you're going to break the nitro, and then you're going to jump back over and belly flop this last box. And that is the bonus level done. Now really all you have left is the last couple dino sequences. The first one isn't too bad. The second one is where I struggled the most on this level. So you have these more boxes to get during this. I would almost always hit this nitro box here at the end because I would jump too early. If you manage to keep your mask, great. If you don't, it doesn't really matter because chances are if you fail during these sections, it's probably going to come down to you falling down the hole, so the mask won't help you anyway. Or you'll get eaten by the Dino, whatever. So, again, make sure you get all these boxes here. There are 3. It's not too hard to get them though. This is probably the hardest part out of everything. I also didn't really point out where the hidden gem is, but you would have seen me pick it up whenever it was during the Dingo Dial section where I was talking about those hidden boxes. Well, they're not hidden, but you can break them with the TNT, but if you miss them, you can just jump to them. But that's where the hidden gem was. You would have seen me pick it up, but I just didn't mention it because I was talking about something else. So anyway, this is the final Dino chase sequence. If you have the ability to, which you probably wouldn't by this point, try to break boxes if you can, but don't go out of your way just to get to the end because you will have enough fruit as long as you collected 90% of the other boxes. So like here, just make sure you get across. That's the biggest importance. Do not do double jumps and just get across. This is the hardest one in my opinion. Now here you're going to have these extra boxes to break. Just be careful of the nitro. And once you break all of them and hit the nitro exclamation, you will get the gem, and that's it. So that is the final Insanely Perfect for this episode. And I'll see you in the next episode, which should be an inverted episode. Ideally. Yeah, I'll see you then.